it, and I heard him. Dear Stephen Shirley, my husband and I have an auto detailing shop, but we make the most money with our mobile detailing truck. My husband has been running the mobile detailing business all by himself because he said he can't find anyone that's as good as he is. Most of his mobile customers are single females that don't like going to a car wash. I go by the shop daily to pick up the cash so I can deposit it. I was there the other day and I overheard a female telling my detail shop manager that she had to stop getting mobile detailing because the owner was flirting with her and her husband didn't like it. Since she was talking about my husband, I asked the shop manager if she said anything else about my husband being inappropriate while he was working. The manager minimized the whole complaint by saying the customer is an airhead that thinks all men want her. I could see that in her, so I didn't dwell on it. The next day, my husband was on the deck smoking a cigar, and I could see him on the camera smiling and talking on the phone. I turned the sound on so I could listen to his conversation. I heard him asking for a picture of something. He asked for a sneak peek, a full view, and then he asked the person to touch whatever it was that he wanted to see. I started talking to him through the camera, and it startled him. He hung up without saying bye, and he came in the house. He said he was talking to a guy about a scratch on his car. The guy wanted to see if he could buff it out without having to sand and repaint it. I don't believe that. My intuition tells me he's a cheater. My intuition tells me he was asking to see some part of a female's body. Do I need more proof before I accuse him of lying? Now, you know in your soul he was talking to a woman, and yes, he was asking to see it and touch and for her to touch herself. You heard that, period. I don't care how he tried to spin it with those lies he told you after you startled him on the phone. That's what it was. There's nothing wrong with your ears. You heard what you heard. Why did he hang up the phone so abruptly when you started talking to him? Why was he smoking a cigar and smiling about? What was he smoking and smiling about? What was that all about? If it was business, if it was just business. And a scratch doesn't have to be touched to see that it's a scratch. You can just point to a scratch. There's nothing wrong with a little harmless flirting. I get that from time to time. But your husband is out there doing the most in these streets. I think you should get in that truck and start going on these mobile detailing jobs with him. Steve?
First of all, let's just go on and deal with the, relationship wrecker herself, who just has destroyed another relationship.
Whatever.
Try to step in here and try to salvage what I can of the remaining relationship that these poor people have. Lord have mercy. Forgive us this day our daily bread. Boy, this boy is so much damn trouble in this letter. But Lord,
yes, he is.
How can I help him? It's hard to help a fool sometimes, because I already know what Shirley gonna do: seek and destroy. She's on a mission.
And I already know what you're
to end them as many as she can, obviously. And I understand that. It usually comes to the aid of the woman to try to offer her, but mostly an out. I, on the other hand, come with a different mission in mind to diversity in the letter. My husband and I got an auto detailing shop, and we make the most money with our mobile detailing truck. I stop by the business every day to pick up the money. The problem is most of his customers happen to be single females that don't like going to car washes, so all this here. So you overheard one of your shop managers talking to a customer that said she had to stop the mobile detailing because the owner was flirting with her and her husband didn't like it. Now, a minute ago, you just said most of the customers were single females. Now the lady married, got a husband. So, what are you hearing? So let's find out what you heard. He said that my manager said that she had to stop because the owner was flirting with her. So you asked the manager, did she say anything else about your husband, saying anything that might be inappropriate? The manager kind of shut the whole thing down by saying that she's an airhead and she thinks all men want her. You said yourself, I could see that in her, because women can see things. My husband was on the deck smoking a cigar. This is why I come in there, because I too smoke cigars. And I am a man, so I specialize in this. I could see him on the camera smiling and talking on the phone. This is where the letter gets cloudy for me. He was smiling and talking on the phone. I turned up the sound so I could listen to his conversation. Now, she turned up the sound on what? That's what I didn't understand.
Camera.
Oh, the camera.
Oh, she got one of the Ring doorbells?
Yeah.
Maybe.
She could see him on camera talking on the phone, so she turned it up.
Okay. And I heard him asking for a picture or something. He asked for a sneak peek, a full view. And then he asked the person to touch whatever it was that he wanted to see. I started talking to him through the camera, and it startled him. He hung up without saying goodbye and came in the house. He said he was talking to a guy about a scratch on his car, and the guy wanted to see if he could buff it out without having to sand and repaint it. I don't believe that. My intuition tells me he's a cheater, and my intuition tells me he was asking to see some part of a female body. Do I need more proof before I accuse him of lying? Your husband. So you went up to the manager and said, did she say anything else her husband did was inappropriate? The manager played it off and shot it down by saying she's an airhead. She think all men want her. You said yourself you could see that. But then the next day, your husband was out on the deck smoking a cigar on the phone smiling. laughing. Cigar in his hand. This is where Shirley proceeds to destroy another man.
Whatever.
The seek and destroy mission she is on. I am here to try to offer some type of solid advice.
A lie.
Well, but not necessarily a lie, Shirley, because you don't know. Now, anyway,
it is.
He heard her say, asking for a picture of something. He asked for a sneak peek, a full view, and then he asked the person to touch whatever it was that he wanted to see.
Right.
I started talking to him through the camera. They got one of them ring phones, I guess. She talked out on the deck. Hey, what you out there doing? He hung up without saying goodbye. He came in the house and said he was talking to a guy about a scratch on his car, and the guy wanted to see if he could buff it out without having to sand and repaint it. I don't believe that, but you must admit.
It was good.
This was a magnificent. Oh, God. It was all, what I love about what his response was, it was related to what he do.
Oh, okay.
So he turned this phone call into a business call. Now, Shirley, you said some stuff that's not true.
What? That you don't have to touch a scratch?
You can walk around your car with a cigar. I do it all the time. Everybody rubs the scratch on their car.
But you don't have to. That's not necessary.
Everybody rubs the scratch on the car to see how deep the grooves is and if it can be rough, buffed out. That's a true statement about a scratch on the car.
Okay.
Everybody, if you want me to do my business, you got to show me the scratch.
Well, he could have just showed it to her.
Back up and give me a full view of it.
Right.
Now touch it, rub it cross there with your fingers so I can see if it's down into the paint. What a wonderful thing he said. Now, Shirley thinks that he's talking about a woman's body part. Because that's what the wife said. The wife said, I don't believe him. But then here was the opening. Do I need more proof before I accuse him of lying? You already are showing what we need, which is reasonable doubt. If you knew that you knew what you knew, you would have approached him by now. But you're a little bit unsure because of his quick
because the lie was so good.
Turn it into a paint. In the words of the late Johnny Cochran, if it doesn't fit, you must quit. And that you got, it fits. It fits what an auto body man would say. Let me see it. Pull back, give me a full view of that scratch.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, he was saying.
He's talking like that.
Put your finger on it. Let me see if it. That ain't too deep. Put your fingers on that scratch. Let me see how deep it is.
On a car. He's talking like
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That's not a business call.
And then you with your busybody. Hey, what you doing out there?
The wife?
Yeah. Hey, what is you touching out there? What did you got your fingers on out there? Whoa. Hey, you got to come in now. You done messed up the business deal.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And yeah, you scared me because I heard a voice out of nowhere. See, all this could be true. Now, Shirley, being the person that she is, evil, just evil, has destroyed another family.
I told him to get in the truck.
I have tried to save a family.
No, you tried to help him with a good lie to get out of it.
Yeah.
That was a lie that was better than the ones you could tell.
Well, but it was the